Gurubhyo Namaha. Hello, friends. Shall we start the Zoom session?
Yes, Kishore ji.
So today, we're going to have a look at a few powerful charts in terms of not just ordinary wealth, but also self earned and self created wealth. So, if anybody has any suggestions or ideas or any points to make, please feel free to unmute and speak. Guruji is traveling right now, so he will drop in once the network is available. Before we start, let's do the Guru Vandana. And before we do that, please let me hear from everyone if it's possible that am I audible? Is the audio quality good? Any feedback on that?
Yes, Kishore ji.
Okay, good. Let's start with the Guru Vandana. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Dasmai Shri, Guruve Namaha, Guruve Namaha, Guruve Namaha. With the blessings of Guruji and the Almighty, let us proceed with the analysis of some interesting charts for today. This is actually an ongoing work, and I thought it's best to release it as one part, a part of what I'm trying to do or trying to see in a collection of charts. So, those who are not speaking, I request them to mute.
Kishore ji, you can make me co-host.
Okay. It says make host. It doesn't say make co-host. Is that it?
Oh no, there should be co-host option.
Oh, it's not here.
Okay, no, everyone is muted, so we can
Oh, yeah.
proceed.
Okay. So, what are the combinations for self-earned wealth? And not just ordinary wealth, great wealth. What are the houses or house connections? Yes.
Second house should be strong.
Yes, Tanviji.
Second house.
Okay.
There should be connection between second house and 11th house.
So this is one sure shot combination for great wealth, right? Okay. What about self-earned wealth? What about success?
Kishore, I was reading today itself that if third lord is in 10th house, the native has self-owned wealth.
Very good. Any other combinations?
Actually, the 11th lord, if it is in nakshatras like Bharani or Purvashada, then it's like huge wealth.
Okay. The creative nakshatras, you mean?
Yeah.
Apart from nakshatras, because we are going into a third level now, nakshatras is going to the third level. Anything else that can be simpler, easy to understand? What about the houses connected with profession? So, do you all agree that a successful profession or a person who's lucky in his professional field will also be having wealth created by his own efforts?
Hello, Kishore. Sorry, I just joined. What was the question?
Hello, Mardini ji. The question is, today's topic is about top executive charts and entrepreneurship and great wealth. So we can see these things even in people who are successful at a lower scale, like not like multimillionaires or multi-billionaires. But we do see good charts where there is a huge combination or good combination of wealth and good successful profession. But what would be the extreme or what would be a great amount of wealth that is earned by the person with his own efforts? Would that be qualifying as an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, or a top executive? So can you recall offhand? I mean, we can refer to the sources later, but offhand or from your memory or whatever has impressed you the most in terms of being great wealth?
6th house, Saturn.
Okay, that's one rule.
Second house, 6th house, Saturn, Lagnesha, and 10th house, or 6 even.
Okay,
But
so
6th
one
house
ten,
should be placed somewhere.
Okay. Saturn the sixth is from Brigu Sutram, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Lagnesha in the 10th is from BPHS. So it's a 110 connection.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Siddhi Yoga, Lagna and Jain. So can't be self-owned wealth.
Okay. Anuji says strong 3, 7, 11. So 7th house of business, 11 is luck, and 3 is effort. Good try, good combination. See, Guruji always says one thing whenever we refer to the books. He says that some part of the books would have been lost, and sometimes the rishi would have given us the hints, and assuming that we'll catch the hints and we'll develop it from there. So, in many places, I've seen that working in a good way. So, 3, 7, 11 seems to be a good combination. Anything else? So, Saturn in the sixth, please type it out. Gautam, if you're free, can you do it? And even others who are not able to unmute and give any um, audio suggestions, audio feedback, you can type it and it will be there in the presentation also. So we'll see a few charts. The reason why we are starting this discussion for wealth and for profession is to see what could be the combinations for entrepreneurs and the people who are in the top executive posts. Okay, something like the CEOs or CTOs or whatever you call the top, and I think great wealth, there are some combinations. Self-earned wealth, there are some combinations. Do you all agree? Okay. Now I'll share a few charts. The screen will be shared, and I don't mind revealing the native's name also. So please don't do any research and try to go retro solving and finding who the native is. The native's name will be visible on the screen. But what I want this to be as a learning experience is to try and see how much we can find the rules working in the chart. And I will also be asking someone to refer to this person's Wikipedia page if he is able to see the native. And then we'll have to see if things are falling in place and whether we could make the predictions bang on target or the analysis rather than predictions. So doing such charts gives us confidence, and it will also help us in retaining things. We call it as muscle memory. So let's do it. Sharing the screen. Gautam, can you please tell me if the screen is visible?
Yes, Kishore, it's visible.
Okay. Does anybody need to have anything else seen, or is this okay? We have the D1 here, the D9, and the Ashtakvarga, and then we have the house chart. Let me color it black, so we'll know that it's the house chart. And for those who prefer the North Indian, we have the North Indian chart here. And the two aspects tables are there. Vimshotri Dasha is also there. And for those who want to go into the Panchanga of the native, even that is visible here. But let's proceed with the D1 first. So would anybody like to take the D1 analysis and start from somewhere, preferably from the Lagna, from the second, from the third?
Yoga Karaka is in ascendant, Kishore.
Okay.
Was it Anuji who said that?
No, that was Sri Devi ji.
Okay.
Kishore I think Mars is in the 11th house and it is in Venus Nakshatra. So it is like huge, it's showing huge wealth.
Okay. So does that fulfill the wealth part of it, the promise of wealth in the native's chart?
Yeah, like self-earned wealth, 10th Lord is in the 11th house.
Okay. What are the other connections we see? Let's start with going with from the basics, so we can never go wrong with the basics, right?
Saturn, Lagnesha, and the sixth house.
Yeah. You said that exactly and you got it right.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence.
But it is in Upachaya house. It's going to give good results like after a certain age.
Yeah, definitely. See, a person who is earning wealth and self-earned wealth, he's definitely going to make it with his efforts, and his efforts are not going to be, easy for him. It's not like wealth is handed on a platter, but definitely that Saturn the sixth will help you. And if you remember, I think it was Mardini who gave a chart of one of the tennis upcoming legends, right? And there also the Saturn was in the sixth in Gemini, right, Mardini?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that was in Gemini, and this is in Cancer.
Can we see
It was
Bhava
in
chart as
Gemini.
well, Kishorji?
Yeah, Bhava chart is on the black colored chart. Can you see it here?
Color.
This one.
Oh, okay.
This is
Okay.
Bhava.
Yeah.
I colored it black because it's a Bhava chart.
He has like Putra dosha.
Okay. No, our topic today is about wealth and self-earned wealth. So
Okay.
if it's Putra dosha and if you're combining with the fifth house, then it has to be the fifth house connected with wealth and effort. If there's any connection between that, then you can point it. We're not going into the marital or the Putra dosha. Let's stick to the topic for today, which is about wealth and self-earned wealth.
Got it.
Now, another point I want to ask is, we have been talking about the lords, lordships, and houses. What about the grahas themselves? I think Mardini came up with Saturn in the sixth. What about Mercury?
Mercury in 11th and Moon in second house.
No, in general, I'm saying. So, in general,
it's
Mercury is
indicator of
also
wealth,
something
yeah.
important, right?
Yeah, indicator of wealth, definitely. And here Mercury somehow in Parivartana between 3rd and 11th, there is good connection between all of Bachaya houses, especially 3rd and 11th. Mercury is ruling 5th house, and 8th house is in 11th house. But let me see the chart. I am unfamiliar a little bit with the South Indian chart. I will check the North Indian chart and I will get back.
Okay, North Indian is there, Mardini. It's at the bottom.
Where is it?
It's at the bottom.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Anuji, you're right. That's the reason why I mentioned Mercury specifically.
Sixth lord in second house, Kishorji, and specifically Chandra in like second house, it gives so much of wealth. They are like based off of Brigasutram, like handsome in appearance and full of glory, wealthy and easily satisfied person.
So this
And
person is in
somehow,
any, sorry. Is this person in any business related to clothes or anything?
No, not clothes.
Okay. Textile, nothing related to that, right?
No.
And also from Moon, second house occupied by Jupiter. Just for the stack up method, I'm saying.
Yeah. That is actually good. I was wanting to ask that at a later point. Because actually I had made a presentation of this in a Word document format with the D1, the Navamsha, the D10 and Surya Lagna and Chandra Lagna. But to do that in the course of a presentation here would be like an overkill. Whereas it would be okay for a printout and leisurely reading by oneself. But in this case, when we look at the chart, then practical difficulties should be overcome. Like we can see the moon chart, we can see the sun chart, the sun lagna, the moon lagna. And basically the patterns should be repeating from even the sun lagna to a certain extent. See, the reason why I'm saying that is because all these grahas, especially the moon and the sun, luminaries, they have a say in the native's life, major say. And when we look at the lagna of sun, keeping sun as lagna and keeping moon as lagna, then if it fulfills from there, it means that it's again and again and again repeating. The patterns are repeating and the stack up is overwhelming. How can the person not be rich? How can he not earn wealth? And there's one more pattern I've been observing, and I will also expose it here at the moment. I see that whenever we see these powerful charts, I see that most of the grahas are on one side of the chart. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So here, if you see, most of the grahas have been seen like an umbrella shape, and we see one major graha on the other side, and the other grahas, like it's like a seesaw battle, and the majority of them are in one side. So keep a lookout on that also for the charts that we're going to come up with in the after this native is done with. So, and what about the D9? If anybody would like to comment on the D9.
Venus and Jupiter in Mula Trikona.
Here in D9, most of the planets are
You mean
in their own houses or exalted.
no? Before this audio chat, I had a lengthy statement. Was it audible about the placement seen in entrepreneurial charts? Hello.
Kishoreji, could you please repeat that statement?
Yeah, so I had made a long statement about what I had done in my document. I had made diagrams of D1, D9, Surya Lagna, Chandra Lagna, and the Dashamsha, that is the D10. And I had given my observations there in the document format. So while presenting it here in Zoom, I'm only displaying the chart so that I want to see what comes up in your minds also. So that was the statement I had made. Was it audible at that time? Because I'm repeating the same statement again for the in case, because I think it was on mute or there was a glitch. Now from in the D9, if you see that the placements are repeating, the positive things are repeating, please let me know. And also the D10. If anybody wants to see D10, I can show it. How about the Dharma Karmadipati Yoga, the conjunction of the 4th and the 5th lords, 9th and the 10th lord? Would that also be considered as an indication of static indication of huge amount of wealth and professional success? So this native Aber Whitcomb is actually a top executive, and he's also the co-founder of Jam City, which is a multi-platform game arena. And what I liked about this chart, or what I liked about this native, is that he created his own wealth. That is something very important for us to understand how it is seen in the chart. We have seen some good favorable placements. Many of you were right. And we see Mardini typing out a long statement. Yes, Mardini, can you please say what it is?
I am referring to Graha Maliga Yoga.
Very good.
There is Parivartana between third and 11th house. Graha Maliga Yoga starting from its Arudha Lagna, ending by third house.
Mm.
Also, there is Parivartana between third and 11th,
Mm.
ascendant including, which is the midpoint of Graha Maliga Yoga, showing somehow self-created wealth.
I see this pattern in
The-
many charts, Mardini.
Also starting by Mercury, ending by Jupiter, and there is Parivartana.
Hmm.
But anyway, I want to refer to something else. If we see the sun is in Marana Karakastana, 12th house.
Hmm.
Karaka of 12th house is Saturn,
Mhm.
being ascendant lord placed in 6th house.
Aspecting its own
So
house. Baba.
exactly. Also can show that the person can depend on himself more than external support or effort.
And what does the 7th lord and the 12th indicate? Apart from not going into marital status or marital significations, generally speaking, 7th and the 12th would refer to business being spread all over the world, being a global
Maybe investment.
business. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, is he married?
He should be, I think.
I
See,
think
the problem with these people, the top people, is that sometimes, they are public, the private life is private most of the time. Maybe we can
but
find
it's
it out.
showing. I don't know. I think maybe he gets married in Sun. I don't know. But anyhow, yes, it's show investment or dealing with foreigners. Especially if we take Rahu as the second lord of the ascendant, Rahu is in 9th house. I mean, his ascendant is Aquarius, and Rahu co-ruling Aquarius.
Yeah, okay.
It's
So
in the
that is
it's in the 9th house. Yeah.
Lagna Lord in the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, being the co-ruler of Kumbha. And there's something else I've been keeping an eye on, and that is this degree of the ascendant and the degree of the yoga giving planets or the heavyweight planets, grahas. So please keep an eye out on that also. So we see the ascendant degree is 24. We see Moon is in 25, Jupiter is in 27, and Mars is in 25. So almost all of them are within 3 degrees of the ascendant's orb, So which means that these are grahas which are going to impact the native in a big way, right?
I have one more thing to say, Kishorji.
Yes, please.
In Navamsa, second lord is exalted in 5th house. That is general rule. Second lord, 5th house exalted is like self-made wealth. Both the native and kids will be wealthy.
Yes.
Is anyone said that like because I stepped out for a few minutes?
No. See, from the Sun Lagna, we have Venus in the second. From in the Navamsha, we have Venus in the second. In the Navamsha, additionally, Venus is also the Lagna Lord, because whenever we go to the Varga chakras, we see the Lagna Lord first, and then we go into the other placements. So 9th Lord in the 9th, 3rd Lord in the 10th, and the combination, once again, I think it was mentioned earlier, was about the 3rd Lord in the 10th, right? It was Leena ji who mentioned it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's from BPHS.
Very good. So here in D1, we see Mars being the 3rd Lord and the 10th Lord going to 11th, along with the 5th Lord, right? And another strange thing is that it is aspected by Jupiter, which is a very good aspect, because this is Mars and Jupiter. Not only is it Parivartana, it is also mutually aspecting, right? In a way, like you see Mercury and Jupiter being in good aspects, and then Mars and Jupiter again in good aspects of Jupiter. So Jupiter aspecting its own bhava once again. The Parivartana of Jupiter and Mars is also a big, powerful connection. And from the Chandra Lagna, is there anything else that we can see in D1?
Yeah, Parivartana between second and 11 again. Jupiter and Mars. So second house Jupiter, 11th house from Chandra Lagna is Mars and Mercury. Is he working as in engineering or technical field?
He is in the technical field actually. He's like connected with it's in a global scale, and he's connected with gaming technologies.
Oh, okay.
And also he's connected with large scale computing networks. So we have this Parivartana in Chandra Lagna from, as you said rightly, it is between the second and the 10th lord. And in the Chandra Lagna, a very important observation is that the first lord, the second lord, the 9th lord, and the 10th lord are all involved. So it is not only Dhana Yoga, it is also Raja Yoga from the Chandra Lagna. Right? Anuji
Yes,
saying,
correct. Yeah.
Anuji says 7th in the 12th is investments abroad, right, Anuji? Yeah. So I'll read this person's brief description of his achievements. He's an American businessman and also the co-founder of Jam City Incorporation. Aber Whitcomb plays a key role in developing and operating this organization on a global scale. That is where we get the 7th and 12th, Mardini ji. And he's not only professionally successful, he's also a recognized expert in his field. And he's been a co-founder of many ventures or many startups, I would say. And this is another one big area that I'm focusing on. What is the combination for the people who are able to run to create a startup from scratch? That is the true meaning of self-earned wealth, I would say. Right? So if you all are done with this, shall we go to the next chart?
Please.
Okay. So I'm temporarily going to stop the screen share and I'll restart it again. So while keeping the previous discussions in mind, let us look at the next set. Are you able to see my Sri Jyoti?
Yes, Kishore ji, we can see it.
Yeah.
Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga.
Good. Another Raja Yoga in the 4th. if you look at this chart, the degrees, once again, we see the Bhava Madhya coming in play, the orb of 3 degrees. So 17 is the ascendant degree, and then we see Jupiter 18, Saturn 22, and Mercury is 20, and Mars is also 20. So the grahas are not far away from the Lagna degree, right? What are the combinations that are seen here for self-earned wealth, Dhana Yogas and Raja Yogas combining?
Third lord is in 12th house, which would mean the native was fortunate to wife.
Okay.
Tenth and the tenth house, second in 10th, 9th in 10th, first. Everything is pointing towards a strong career.
Okay. You mean the 9th and the 10th combining in the 10th?
Yes, it's also the first and second houses too.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, if you see the Navamsha, Saturn exalted, and the 11th lord is in 5th. Should be
Very
also
good.
famous.
Saturn, can we assume that it's going to give the result of the 9th house? And even a strong 8th lord is also okay, right? Not a problem. Exaltation.
Yes.
Kishore, sorry, I joined late. What area of life are we analyzing here?
I want you to look at this chart, the D1, the D10, the D9, and try to come up with your statements regarding wealth and regarding whether it is self-earned wealth or professional success. Both are, in a way, they are same, right? Professional success and self-earned wealth. And how do you see that potential in a chart? Sometimes when we see questions like these asked by people who bring a chart and show it us and ask us whether this person will be successful, will he be earning wealth, will he be earning a source of income? I mean, how will his wealth be? Then this observation that we are going to do today will aid us in having confidence in saying what we see in the chart. So in a way, we are trying to bring whatever the rishis have told, and we are bringing it in the chart, and we are seeing it in the chart, and we are ascertaining and affirming whatever theoretical knowledge we might have gained from the classes, from Guruji's classes. So in a way, this is like a practical application of what we have learned. So what sort of combinations do you see striking in this chart? That is the question.
Here, actually, the Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars are in Venus nakshatras. So I think that gives massive wealth.
Kishore, is this native high educated, or he has PhD, master, something like this? Again, Saraswati Yoga. We can find it here.
Okay. No, the problem with looking at Saraswati Yoga in terms of merely technical education, like the normal education coming with a degree and all that, compared to the knowledge that would make him unique, right? Would make him stand out from the pack. Then I would say that then the latter part of it would be a better and apt description of whatever yoga you think in terms of education, right? Because everybody nowadays, everybody has a chance to go to pursue colleges and degrees, and most of them are successful. But it is only very rare, the rarest of the rare, who reach the top top layer of the pyramid in terms of financial successes. So while we diagnose the chart brick by brick and we come to a conclusion, also keep in mind that most of the patterns are repeating. Most of the combinations will repeat because the scale of their achievements is also similar. I'm not comparing a millionaire with a billionaire. I'm comparing a billionaire with a billionaire. You get the point? If I'm going to compare a millionaire and a billionaire, there will definitely be some remarkable differences. I remember the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction being a Raja Yoga by itself, especially in with Jupiter's Jupiter being the fourth lord and the seventh lord in the fourth and connected with the fifth and sixth lord, which again speaks of a lot of effort and victory, right? Does anybody have anything to say about the Navamsha and the D10?
Yeah, again, I'm connecting all the yoga, and so I think he is working either in real estate or education because the chart can indicate both of them.
Real estate or education. Anybody else? Can you give an estimate of, okay, forget about his wealth. Can you tell us what he would be into? Marjani says it's real estate or education, right? V. Karthik, you had asked the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see anything striking in the chart?
One thing is ninth and 10th lord connection. We are seeing it in the D1 and D9 both. Sorry, D1 and D10.
D10. Okay.
Same also. I think he is famous.
And not only that, Karthik ji and Mardini ji, this combination of Moon Mercury in D10 is aspected by Jupiter once again. See,
Yeah.
my observation is that Jupiter is the one who is bestowing that the blessing of wealth. You know, he's also called as the Dhanakarak, right? So here, when you see the aspect of Jupiter on Venus and Mercury in the D1, and then we see the same Jupiter aspecting Moon Mercury in D10, I think that's something that we have to reckon seriously. So can we say that this aspect of Jupiter is a much needed boost?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that is one point that we need to keep in mind, our algorithm. And then we see the third house and the 10th house connection, or the third house lord and 10th lord dignity also. That is also important.
So Kishore, the D10 fifth house, Mars, indicates something to do, career to do with the engineering side. I mean, mathematics or engineering.
So can I say that he's multifaceted personality?
Okay.
But then Mars in the fifth is not just Mars in the fifth, it is also the second lord and the seventh lord in the fifth, right?
Yes.
So, and then we see the fifth lord in the 10th. That is another big yoga. Lagna lord in the 11th, connected with wealth once again.
So I see repeatedly Mars. That's why,
Yeah. You can never
Mars in
ignore
second
Mars
house.
for such people, the ones who are dynamic. Mars itself is a graha for dynamism. I mean, it can go either ways, but if it's going in the right direction, it will make the person reach heights. So this person is, as you can see the name,
Kishore,
Duncan.
can we see Sarvastakvarga score?
Sure. I'll do one thing. I'll remove this guy. And actually, I was waiting for someone to ask for Sarvastakvarga. I had it there, then I removed it.
We can see 34 in second house.
Yep.
It's highest one.
Can we see the individual Binashtakvargas?
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to check which page it is.
5.
Is this the one, Karthik ji?
Yeah.
Wherever you see number 7,
I was looking for that rule which Guruji talks about, right? Where Venus is, if it is 6, 7, or 8. Here it has 3.
Oh, we see 8 in Venus is Ashtakvarga, which is very rare, right? I'm just seeing it for the first
7
time.
and 8, like he specifically mentioned. All the millionaires.
Actually, it's 3,
like
right? Because Venus is in Gemini, right?
No. I'm seeing the number 8 in Venus Ashtakvarga. The strength. This 8 I'm
but Venus is not in Aries, right? It's in Gemini.
Yeah.
Why that 8 thing is like Venus related, Kishorji? I'm confused because like that is 8th house and that belongs to Mars.
I would suggest that this is actually a contribution of Venus, right?
How come?
Isn't it?
No.
Venus's contribution to the Sarvastakvarga.
Yeah. So we see this 31 here. And then if you add all these numbers from this in Mesha for all the charts, it will come to 31, right? So Venus has contributed 8 points to this house to bring the score to 31.
How is it that 8 belongs to Venus? Oh, Venus.
Here. It's Venus Ashtakvarga, right?
I think
then we have to see like Gemini that has like 3 points, isn't it? Like not 8.
Yeah, but see, contribution is what is important here, right? We have the contribution of Venus in the second house as 7, and then Rabang opposite is 8 here, which is in the 8th house.
I think all planets will contribute to Venus's Ashtakvarga. That is the all planets sum of contribution to Venus, I think.
No. See, this score of 31 here is the aggregate of all the points that are there in each of these charts in Mesha. So, for example, if you take Moon Ashtakvarga, we see 4 points contributed by Moon. We see Mars contributes 2 points and Sun contributes 3 points. So that if you add them up totally, you will be reaching 31.
So every time you need to add like from Aries?
No, in Aries.
I mean, in Aries, like whatever it has, then you need to add that to Sarvastakvarga score. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, Sarvastakvarga is the total aggregate of each individual graha's contribution.
But that count, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That count should be taken from Gemini, from Venus, like, which is 3, not 8. Correct me like if I'm wrong.
I'm not able to understand your statement. It's a very simple thing.
That is a rule that Guruji said, but I think Kishorji is talking in general about that.
I'm talking about contribution. The contribution of Venus to this number A, to this number 31 is 8. Out of 31 points in Sarvastakvarga for the 8th house, Venus has contributed 8 points.
Okay.
11th house is only 26 points. I mean, less than 10th house. But second house is high score.
Yeah, abnormally high.
That is the number one highest.
Kishore ji,
Ah.
with respect to the Venus contribution, actually, I think all planets contribute to Venus Ashtavarga. All Ashtavargas of planets contribute to the total Ashtavarga.
So what is the meaning of this 8 here?
All planets, just give me a minute, let me share a screenshot.
So can we say 8 points in the 8th house? Maybe some inherited wealth or
Yeah,
some
8th house
sudden
stands for other people's money.
Inheritance
Or like,
or
people going for the funding, right?
money that was not earned. That is 8th house.
That is contributed by other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a reason why Venus have 8 points in the 8th house.
Okay.
The exact reason you mentioned, Kishorji, like, he probably has a lot of financiers helping him out.
In fact, he is not just a top-notch businessman. He is actually a top-notch executive in multiple organizations, various companies actually.
He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, entrepreneur.
Okay.
Probably the 9th and 10th connection, right?
Yeah. Let me have a look at
Kishore ji?
Yeah.
I have shared the image in the chat. For Venus Ashtavarga, each planet and ascendant are contributing for the Venus Ashtavarga of Venus.
That is the same case with any other chart, right? I mean, that's how Venus or any other planet contributes for all the 12 houses. Some planets contribute more for a particular house, some planets less, some planets zero. So that is the Binashtavarga, right? And we add them all up, and that becomes our Sarvashtavarga.
Actually, this is also a good way to determine which graha or which type of job is the person into, or how does he earn his wealth, based on those points. Now that you shared me that screen, I remember once we did an analysis while I was looking at Bill Gates' chart, and then we saw that he was having good amount of contribution from Mercury. So that's how he came into this computing business, and he earned a huge amount of wealth.
Yes, Kishore, you are right. I mean, it's not necessary that the calculation involves just the whole one planet.
Yeah.
Practically taking, we should only consider the Binashtavarga of that planet. For example, Venus is the main contributor of the 8th house.
Yeah, that is the point that
yeah.
Yeah, that is what I would refer to as.
Yes.
But we normally look at the Sarvashtakarga to see whether the spread is even or whether there's any lopsidedness in that Ashtakarga. Okay, if the spread is even, it means then the person is well equipped to handle not only challenges but also to earn and to keep generating income. Because if there's a particular bhava, in Sarvashtakarga, if there's a particular house that has low score or very high score, it means it's taking the points away from other houses. So that was one revelation I had when I was reading a book. I don't remember which book it was. So let's go to the next chart, the next native. Gautamji, I hope you are back.
So what is the name of this net?
Yeah, I will reveal that. The name of this person is Duncan Law Anderson, and he's a Scottish entrepreneur, and he's formerly a civil engineer. And then he rose to great heights to become the director of various companies like Overseas Airways, British Oxygen, South Durham Steel and Iron, and more. In other words, he's a top-notch executive.
Yeah, the engineer part. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I don't know if you recollect, I was talking about the dignity of Mercury.
Yeah.
And here we also see the dignity of Moon. See, the reason why I'm talking about Moon and Mercury is because unless and until your mind is strong, okay, you'll not be able to survive in that top echelons. I mean, if if you had to allow the mind to relax, or if you had given a choice to the mind, generally human mind is a lazy mind. Okay, so to get this sort of energy, in the mental makeup of a person, and then to use that energy positively is very rare. Okay, let's go to the next native. Do you want me to continue, guys?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll stop share briefly while I bring my secret charts. Here we go.
Not see your screen, Kishore.
Yeah, just a sec. Now are you able to see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can anybody give me a rundown of the chart? You can start from anywhere, whichever catches your fancy.
If you're talking about common points between this chart and previous chart, the Rahu in second house.
And Yoga Karaka in own house, along with Jupiter.
Good catch.
Fifth house in Jupiter in fifth house.
Venus moved to sixth.
Did we miss out on the Bhava Madhya?
Oh, yeah.
See, even the smallest of the small factors goes a big way in pushing the chart forward in the materialistic world. So if one person is looking at the Navamsha, one person can concentrate on the Dashamsha, and some people can coordinate with the D1. And if somebody is interested, they can look at the Ashtakvarga. So who wants to go into the Dashamsha? We are still not done with the D1. Let's finish D1 first.
Yoga Karaka Venus in fifth house with Jupiter.
With Jupiter.
In Swakshetra, in its own house.
Okay. And Jupiter is close to the degrees, right? The Bhava Madhya?
Yes, and the ascendant.
Not very far.
3 degrees, 4 degrees, yeah.
Venus moved to sixth house, right? Baba chart.
But still, we cannot ignore the fact that Venus is in own house.
Yeah. Plus Saturn degrees is also 3 degrees. Sun is also 3 degrees.
Is he getting wealth through foreign lands? Because second lord in 12th house.
There's one more thing we noticed, Sridevi ji, that we have seen this 12th connection, right? The 12th house connection, and that implies that the income is on a global scale, truly international scale, right? Though we, the traditional mindset is that the 12 is a dusthana, sometimes we have to also make sure that it could also be a connection with the foreign lands, income from foreign sources or a global arena, right?
Yes.
That is correct.
So when we are looking at clients' charts, the moment we see the dusthanas, please keep that dusthana point at the back of the mind, but not too important to make it like, a big statement with a negative statement with. There are some charts which I've missed.
So we are looking for career and
Profession, career, wealth.
Yeah, fifth, Jupiter in fifth house, it's definitely his
To add to Ramesh's
very smart
theme,
person.
sorry to cut you off, Ramesh. From Moon, Jupiter in fifth house. From Lagna, it is, from Moon, Jupiter is in ninth house, which is added advantage.
From the Moon Lagna, yeah.
Or Jupiter looking at ascendant and moon. Fifth house aspect, fifth and ninth aspect of Jupiter. But fifth house Jupiter is definitely a very creative mind and definitely very educated, very well educated.
In Dashamsha, both Sun is exalted and Saturn is in own house. I think he might be a politician.
You could also say he is the top admin. Once again, I'm saying, these are.
So if he is leading a multinational company, it is similar to being in.
It's 10 Lord of D1 Venus. It's in the ascendant of the Samsha, and being Venus, showing that he is working with top management, high management position, and related to knowledge.
I see that too.
Like he is doing something related to.
So no, did you notice that Venus is debilitated in? But we don't see debilitation that much here in Dashamsha. We see the exalted moon also there. Sorry, not exalted. The 11th Lord moon there. 11th Lord,
second Lord connection.
Yeah. So that is again a very powerful Dana Yoga, right?
Yes.
Venus debilitation, I think, will be marginal in this case.
Jupiter in second house in
There is even in the Samsha, there is Nishbanga for the debilitation of Venus. I mean Mercury in Kendra.
Okay.
Someone mentioned that he might be a politician, but because of Sun exaltation in D10, that means he could be in charge of, a big company, a multinational company as well.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Could be like the CEO, one who takes decisions. Basically, in D10 means then it's connected with his profession. So he must be an authority there.
Yeah. And again, D10 fifth lord in fifth house. It's certainly it's a strong fifth house everywhere. And first lord in fifth house in D9.
Jupiter in second house. I think I mentioned that earlier in D9.
Yeah, a lot of wealth. Yeah, expansion.
10th lord and 6th, according to BPHS, it is career in foreign countries, right?
Yeah, connected with foreign lands.
As long as speech goes, if Mars and Rahu moved to third, so there's a third house, Mars, Rahu. How is his speech? I mean, like Rahu is Maya.
Mm.
He's a good marketing person.
We could, we could say that he is having influential speaking abilities. That's the reason why he rose to the top. But these three charts that we've seen today, this is the third one, right? All of them have made an achievement to be put up in the names of the top wealthiest people or the top most successful people, influential people, I say. So this person, by the way, Bobby Murphy, he is a top-notch entrepreneur and engineer, and he's also into social media and multinational investments, and his
This guy
work.
is Snapchat guy, right?
Yeah, the Snapchat guy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, he was considered as the second youngest billionaire in the world by Forbes. Second youngest billionaire. And did you see this 100 here, which really stands out? Master's aspect on the 10th house.
Yeah.
How can we really see? Because like it is extremely standing out chart, right? Where exactly we can point that out?
Which one?
You said like he's second most youngest billionaire, right? Like right after like we look into this chart along with the other stuff, like because we are already aware that like we are looking into wealth perspective, especially for learning purpose now.
Yeah, in the beginning, I had made a comment. I said that we see a lot of good combinations in the charts that we come across on a day-to-day basis, right? We see the 211 connections, we see the Dharma, Karma, Adhipati Yoga, all those things we see. But what makes a chart truly powerful is that the pattern repeats from multiple perspectives, from the Chandra Lagna, from the Surya Lagna. Then we go into the dignity in Navamshas, then in the Shamshas, and then in Ashtakvargas. So everywhere you go, these top-notch guys, if the birth data is correct, then the chart will speak the truth.
Okay.
Okay,
So can
where
we
the
say
birth
like
data is suspect. Yes, Sridevi.
sorry.
Sridevi, I mean, so I think if I look at the dashas, it happened in his Rahu dasha. Rahu is in Jupiter nakshatra and it's in second house.
Okay.
So yeah, youngest. That was the question, right, Sridevi, when you asked?
Yeah.
Tell
That
why
is one thing.
the timing.
No,
of
actually, like he is in a top-notch one, right? Like in Snapchat or whatever the company that he owns. Do we need to concentrate on Aruda Lagna as well? Because Aruda Lagna is in 11th house. Why I mean, my basic question is, right after like we look into it, like how can we say someone is like really in limelight and someone is like extremely wealthy compared to any other charts? Because like if I see Sarvastaka Varga, I cannot point that out like earlier. Not the second house or 11th house. It has like higher points.
Okay,
So
so
that is ruled out.
Sridevi ji, Sarvashtaka Varga is only the last thing that we go to, just to reaffirm or confirm things. It is not like the first thing that we go to. That is what Guruji tells us. And what Ramesh ji has mentioned is also there's also one more thing that when we see that the patterns repeating, then we have to give weightage to it.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So if the pattern is repeating, if you see good things in D1 and then you don't see the good things in D9, that means that there is some tilting of the balance, right?
Right.
Okay. And the third house and Mercury connection is always there in most of the charts. See, there were a lot of things which I have not mentioned yet. And I've been keeping it strictly for personal study. The reason why I'm doing that is at the moment I have not come across sizable charts. I'm just collecting the charts and I'm seeing, and each chart takes some time actually. So I'm doing multiple things at the same time. So that's the reason why these things are taking time to develop and bring to the forefront. But what I've gained, what I've seen, the perspective of these multiple charts that I've seen is that the patterns are repeating. Okay, that is point number one. Point number two is that the dignity or the friendship is also there. Like when you see the grahas in friendly signs or in great friends sign, you see this particular thing here, this column here, dignity. It usually gives positive feel, to the grahas. And then I've seen that this bhava madhya also works a lot. Otherwise, the natives are not able to progress really fast. You see, most of the degrees of the grahas are in bhava madhya. And for those charts for those natives who have been reaching to the top, and a small correction, Sri Devi ji, these charts are not famous charts. We are not looking at fame here. Yeah, fame is a byproduct, but not the main thing. See, there are people who become wealthy after becoming famous. And there are people who become famous after becoming wealthy.
That's right.
Right. So this chart is the wealthy chart, the second type, the ones who have become wealthy and who may not be known by many people because they don't prefer to be in the limelight. So there will be some change in the charts where the fame or the popularity of the person will be in taking a back seat. But what would really make them, if people did research on the way they, they say rags to riches story, then what really made them successful is like, the other day we read about Ivar Tollefson. We analyzed his chart. He was distributing newspapers at 3:30 in the morning. And after a certain period when the dasha and during the analysis, we found that the dasha bhukti changed and even his luck also changed. From being a newspaper delivery boy, he reached and he is now currently owning 150,000 apartments. So those are the charts that will give you the affirmation that we need, from whatever rishis have been telling us, whether it is Bhrigu Rishi or Parashara, Rishi Parashara. So these affirmations are important for an astrologer to gain confidence and to speak confidently. So shall we stop here? I think it's time for us. I mean, if it was me, I would go on and on.
Yeah.
But it's just that the point that I wish to make is that when we see the promises in multiple places in the chart, in the analysis, I mean, basically we are doing what is known as scientific analysis of the horoscopes. We see the patterns, we see the dignities, we see the promises, then we go to the dashas and we see the timing of events. Because that is another thing that I have not touched upon, the dynamic part of it. I think then we can come to a conclusion. Yes, this person will strike it big, right?
Yeah.
So in a broad sense, I think we did some justice. We brought out some promises in the chart, and we saw that it is working in their life. So
Right, Kishore.
yeah. So if you all agree, then we can call it a day or a night.
It's up to the people in India.
Okay. So I guess we'll wind up then.
Thank you, Kishore.
Anybody wants to make a summary statement or an observation, any suggestions, anything, please let us know before we sign off.
You are the right person to summarize, Kishore.
Sridevi ji, you're my senior, so please take the initiative. Let me know if there was any lacking today, or you felt that you have done something.
You guys are doing fantastic. Actually, like I need to catch up with you guys.
Okay. Okay, then we'll sign off for now.
Thank you, Kishore ji.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Night.
Kishore.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Good day.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thank you.
Very good chance. Thank you.
Thank you.